A massive thank you to Lars, Jake, YVNG, Ellies and Louis for subscribing to the channel, as well as the 40,000 other of you over the course of F1 2021. I apologise if your name never featured on this, but it is certainly still massively appreciated. So yeah, thank you to everyone over the course of F1 2021. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. The choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like.
Hello everyone and welcome back guys to the finale of our F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday, 137 episodes later, we're here in Abu Dhabi for the Yas Marina Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on the last video that went live a few days ago, of course, we've been trying to finish off the Williams Road to Glory as well, so it has been a little while since the last race from this championship from Jeddah. I would definitely recommend going back and checking it out. But yeah, race 23. Like I said, episode 137. I can't believe it, you know, this game cycle, we started F1 2021 with about 15,000 subscribers. At the time of recording this, we're about to tick over 56,000 subscribers, and by the time this video goes out in a couple of days' time, who knows what sort of goal we would have achieved as well. But yeah, I just cannot thank you guys enough. This game has completely sort of changed YouTube for me, completely, you know. To begin with, it was kind of just still a part-time hobby that I enjoyed, and now, you know, it's sort of a serious job that I'm absolutely loving still, so I cannot thank you guys enough for, you know, all the insane continued support throughout the entirety of this game cycle. But yeah, one more race to go of the My Team series. Of course, tomorrow we have the finale of the Williams RTG as well. Both championships coming down to the wire. It's myself against Red Bull here. But like I said, if you missed out on the last video, would definitely recommend going back and checking it out. Championship-wise, George Russell leads the way by 7 points as we head into the finale here. So we absolutely have to beat him if we want any chance at the World Championship. If we win this race, it could be decided by fastest lap points as well there. That's just how tricky things have become late on in the year. But of course, so many reliability issues late on into the campaign. We were going to have to take grid penalties anyway, so we're going to put a whole fresh engine into the back of the car. We're going to be doing our last question mark challenge here today, and it's really going to be difficult because, I mean, this might well have to be a last to first here in Abu Dhabi, but fingers crossed we can just keep it clean and tidy. We may as well lob a fresh gearbox in there as well. But yeah, one more race to go of the My Team Career Mode. Of course, the final race of the game as well. It's going to be a 100% here from Yas Marina. 55 laps ahead of us around this circuit tonight. Let's jump into it, straight into the Grand Prix.
This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
Welcome to the Yas Marina circuit for the finale of another thrilling Formula 1 season. It's been a breathtaking year, and we end it at a track that's been the scene of many glories and heartbreaks over its history. It's time to end the season in style. It's time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The drivers will be racing here at the Yas Marina circuit through 21 corners and a lap distance of just over 3.4 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass, with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, turns 8 and turn 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed, and I hope plenty of drama to be found in the laps ahead. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Verstappen, George Russell and Leclerc, Tsunoda, Giovinazzi, Stroll and Valtteri Bottas, Ocon, Aitken, Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher, Lundgaard, Eilert, Nicholas Latifi and Robert Schwartzman, Ricciardo, Joe, Giotto and Mr. Monaco. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
There's still a chance we can win this championship, so go out there and bring back the title.
Yep, the real question is, can we become a 3-time Formula 1 World Champion for our own team, or will it be George Russell? He's not going to win it with Mercedes like many thought. If he is crowned champion today, it will of course be for Red Bull. But 55 laps ahead of us, going to be a very, very long race this evening. I mean, the game's recommending a 3-stop strategy. Far more worrying than that, they reckon there's going to be rain by the end of this one, so we could see some absolute drama late on in the evening here from Abu Dhabi. I mean, if we get a wet period, that will be something I've never seen before on F1 2020, or any F1 game, I think, at Abu Dhabi for that matter. But yeah, strategy though, like I said, going to be very, very interesting. There's going to be at least sort of 2 pit stops, I think, for most of the runners. But we just need to be quick. We need to be careful. George Russell didn't have the best qualifying session either. He's a little bit out of position down in P5, but we have to get ahead of him by the end of the race today. They're so going to completely underfuel the car as best as possible. 55 laps ahead of us. Let's get into it then. For the final time on F1 2021 in this My Team career mode, waiting on those 5 red lights. Can we get a good start? It's going to be a long haul, but lights out and away we go. And I mean, we're not going to break the routine now. We're going to get an awful start as we head down in towards the first corner. Just going to try and spot our way around the outside of Luca Giotto. I've told the team we don't need an engine unit with extra power or anything like that. We just want one that'll make it through to the end of the Grand Prix tonight. As you can see, Sergio Perez sneaks his way through the first sector there. We're just going to destroy the 50-meter braking board as we head in through sector 2. And again, still just trying to spot our way around slower cars at the moment. I mean, we've got such a clear advantage. I mean, Ricciardo should probably be trying to be a bit braver as well there as we go around the outside of the Australian. But yeah, so many cars have upgraded so well this year. We're also running quite a lot of aerodynamics this weekend to try and give us the best race pace we possibly can. As Schwartzman and Latifi just going to box in front of me there, and we've just got nowhere to go except for right around the outside of Nicholas Latifi. So making still good progress early on then in this Grand Prix, as we can see now. Hopefully we're going to try and get a run on Robert Schwartzman as we head down the back straight. Are we going to be able to make a move into the chicane? Yes, we are. Got to be brave, but sort of keep the car clean as well. You know, we can't have any sort of aggressive lunges, anything like that. We have to, first of all, try and get to the end of this race. As I think, looking at it, George Russell has lost 1 place off the start of this one. I think he's been jumped by the second Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, so really not the best start for him. But often when we've come to Abu Dhabi, we've been leading the championship. You know, we've only needed, say, you know, a 3rd place or something like that, and we'll guarantee ourselves the crown. Tonight, we have to beat George Russell, and that might have to be by numerous positions, if of course we're not battling for the win. At end of lap 1 though, 22nd up to 18th, as, Christian Lundgaard, our very first teammate from F1 2021, just in front of me here, as we're going to try and hopefully make a move work on our Danish pal. Are we going to be able to have a look up the inside? Oh, very, very aggressive there. I said we don't need aggressive moves, but kind of just didn't quite get the car slowed down. I think Lundgaard not happy with that one, but we get away with it. Next up, Callum Eilert.
Nice move. Good job.
Team liking the move still, but yeah, making good progress early on, but we have to pick off these cars cleanly and quickly. As now we're actually getting quite a good little run, actually, on Callum Eilert in his Williams. We're going to go for a nice cheeky send, get the car slowed down, nice and tidy. Ooh, don't try it again, back up the inside please, Callum. P16 now ours. So So Perez set to 36.9 then at the end of lap 2 as we ran the final couple of corners. We are stuck in a lot of dirty air. We set 37.8.
This lap, we can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
If we get an engine failure tonight though, I'm never going to trust Mercedes power again because, like I said, we put completely fresh components in the car. I mean, some of you have said I'm putting completely destroyed parts in, but you'll be able to tell because, of course, you get the little warning on the HUD, and, of course, that hasn't come up during any of our part failures this season. It has all just been completely random component failures, you know, an interesting feature that was added to F1 2021. I must admit, I did love it until it started completely screwing us late on in the game, but to the outside of Nikita Mazepin, Alpine driver going to give us a bit of a squeeze. It's a miracle he stayed in Formula 1 this long. But we do now inherit P50. Next up, Zhou Guanyu, who's also had a pretty good start. He was down in 20th on the grid. How does he manage that?
Okay, we're running low on fuel. You'll need to conserve what you have left in order to finish the race.
Every time Jeff says that, every time Jeff comes on the radio now, I panic on this game. We cannot just have any more issues late on in the year. But I mean, already we've kind of kicked past all the slow cars in this Grand Prix. Everyone from Zhou Guanyu onwards is probably going to be a little bit more difficult to navigate here. So we're going to try and use a lot of battery down the second back straightaway here. Are we going to be close enough to go for a send on the Chinese driver? Yes, we are there. That was very aggressive. We stopped the car in front, made it very clear to him, and Zhou Guanyu jumps out of the way. I'm sure Red Bull probably not liking that all too much. Next up, Mick. Oh, we got yellow flags out. Someone's going slowly. It's not a Red Bull, though. It's the AlphaTauri, I think, Lando Norris, who's at the Grand Prix very, very early on there. So Honda, they might just be a little bit concerned about that one, as we're all over the back now of Mick. Can we make the move? No, yellow flag's still out, so we can't do anything at the moment. There's Lando Norris. Why doesn't he just park the car? He stopped me making an overtake there. So one AlphaTauri jumped out of the way. The other one at the Grand Prix, Red Bull. They're going to have to rely on Sergio Perez.
They're retiring from the race.
And of course, yeah, Perez wins this race. It's going to be a whole lot more difficult for me to really do anything against George. But still, I'm sure they want George right towards the front. Over the back of Mick. We're going to... Oh, no. No, we're not. Oh! Mick Schumacher was never going to give me the time of day there, and I thought about it and really did not want to throw it away this early on in the Grand Prix. Mick Schumacher. Yeah, perhaps he's on Red Bull's payroll. I mean, he replaced George Russell down at Aston Martin for this season. And Mick there, not having any of our cheeky little looks. More yellow flags out there. Someone else going slowly. It's one of the Haas cars. Not too sure who that is. I think it's Robert Schwartzman, who might now be joining Lando Norris on the sidelines here. And all the reliability issues early on, we just got to pray we're not one of them in this final race of the year. There, Schwartzman out.
Schwartzman, they are out of the race.
Here we go, Mick Schumacher, round 2 then. This time around, we're not going to be close enough unless I was feeling very, very brave down
Check
at the
your
chicane.
MFD for a new strategy option.
Team potentially looking at a new strategy option here. I don't think that's going to make much difference. I don't want to be finishing this race on the medium tyres here, as now Mick Schumacher's going to go defensive on me. He's very much in Red Bull's camp at the moment, is Mick, but round the outside we go. And finally making more progress. They're up to P12 now of the race. We can see already all of these midfield runners, the pace gap so minimal between so many cars now that it's really difficult to actually pick a lot of these guys off because everyone practically is running a maxed out car. Everyone but Haas and Williams. Just look at that Jack Aitken nestle up in the points early on. Right, let's see if Esteban Ocon then is going to put up as stern a defence as his teammate Mick Schumacher did just a couple of laps ago. So we activate the DRS out onto the back straight. It looks like Esteban going to be not as confident here as we head down in towards the back straight chicane. Much, much later on the brakes. Esteban, though, ooh, he's going to keep the nose there. We'll slam the door on the exit then, I think, and we will now inherit P11. Jack Aitken up next, as we'll leave the Aston Martins to battle between themselves. Jack Aitken, yeah, look. Oh, hello. Jack Aitken doing pretty good work in that Alfa Romeo over the last couple of weekends there. They've certainly continued to pile on the upgrades right until the end of this series, but yeah, just that little mistake meant that we couldn't quite get the run down the next straight on Aitken. Maybe just starting to push this rubber a little bit. It's coming towards lap 10. I think we're going to see some pit stops happening soon. Ricciardo and Giotto have already boxed. Must be said, though, that Alfa Romeo definitely doesn't have the same sort of top-end speed as the Aston Martins, and I think the Mercedes of Lance Stroll just in front of him there. You can see he's going to go right down to the inside. So we head down the back straight. Much later on the brakes. They're clean ahead of him by the time we get to the braking zone. And now if we get a good run, Lance Stroll might be under threat as well. There's see Stroll gets caught out over the curbing on the exit of the corner. So we might go 2 for the price of 1 here as we head down the straightaway. And not only have we got ourselves into the points, we're immediately up to P9 in this race. I mean, George Russell, he's right there. He's not far in front of us at all. We've had a miraculous first stint on this set of softs, but we got to keep going. Right, lap 12 then, all over the back of Valtteri Bottas. Of course, he's got bad memories around this place. Season 1, oh, that feels so long ago in this championship, where he was robbed of a title on the very last lap against his teammate Lewis Hamilton there. Left Mercedes and went to McLaren in the end, because, yeah, not at all happy with the way that was handled. But back now, of course, he's been with McLaren ever since in this series, as we almost accidentally turned in on Lance Stroll, though. Was too busy trying to get the switch back on Valtteri there. As you can see, to the outside, he's got no DRS to defend himself. So that should be a fairly easy pickup then. Up into 8th place now of the Grand Prix is Yuki Tsunoda, the man that replaced him at Mercedes all those seasons ago, who has been the linchpin for them in more recent years. He is the next car on the old hit list. First cars into the pits then. Verstappen and I think Carlos Sainz were the ones I spotted. No, it's Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen into the pits.
We're coming in this lap.
This team want us in the end of this one. I mean, the tyres don't feel bad, but I mean, yeah, you really don't want to try and overstretch a set of tyres around Yas Marina, because that final sector can get very nasty very quickly there. I mean, the tyre wear is fine, he says as he goes for a nice big lock-up down in towards the next chicane. Yeah, I might try and extend this stint a little bit longer. Oh, and there we go. Top 4 into the box at the end of lap 13 then. We're going to opt to stay out at least one more here in this Grand Prix. As there we go. Last to first in 14 laps here in Abu Dhabi. But now we've just got to try and keep these tyres in good nick. Probably going to try and box into lap 50, to be honest.
P1. You're leading the race.
Team loving that. Let's just keep the momentum. Oh, there we go. Sergio Perez 136.2.
Just posted the fastest lap of the race.
As I'm just going to stay out even longer in this Grand Prix. I mean, the tyres feel fine. Perez has definitely got a little bit more pace over me, but I'm kind of just watching the gap there as Russell seems to have overcut his way into a net P3 here, so we might actually have to think about boxing rather soon. But I just thought, whilst Verstappen and Russell are a bit stuck behind Nikita Mazepin, who seems to be the only man to start this race on mediums, we may as well just keep going for it. Although now I'm sort of looking at that huge gaggle of cars and thinking it might be worth boxing in case they all get the jump. End of lap 16 though, as we head out from under the hotel. We're going to box at the end of this one as Sergio Perez comfortably out in front now, thanks to Nikita Mazepin. We got a warning for corner cutting. We're on pit entry. How on earth did we manage that there? But I'm getting a little bit worried, you know. If Russell's a net P3, even if we got ahead of him and he got relegated down to P4, we'd still need to win the Grand Prix there, because of course if we finished in second, we'd only take 6 points out of him. Nice. Oh, it was almost a nice 2.5 second stop, but we are going to re-emerge right in this gaggle of cars though. So we head out of the pit lane.
Penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
We're also going to be on harder tyres. We're not even going to fit right in this gaggle. We're actually going to come out right behind Jack Aitken, who is currently sat in P11 there. So that overcut really hasn't worked out for me. And all that work we did a few laps ago, we're going to have to redo again here. But we're getting our medium stint out of the way. Going to try and extend these to about sort of lap 35, maybe even lap 40 if we can. Because if we get to lap 40, then we can easily try and take another set of softs from then to the checkered flag. But of course, the other big question...
Radar is clear. Weather is looking good for now. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
So rain isn't predicted then, as we try to make a move work on Jack Aitken. He accidentally goes for a move on Lance Stroll there, and Stroll just kind of getting caught up in all of our mess there. Aitken gets a horrible run off the exit of the corner, and now Stroll's going to be vulnerable to the pair of us through no fault of his own there, around the outside of both cars there. And for the second time today, we're going to get 2 for the price of 1. This time round, Stroll gets completely Ricardo zonted down the end of the back straight. Both Aitken and I making the move. But poor old Lance Stroll there just got bullied out of the points. I mean, these mediums are providing a lovely little bit of grip early on the stint there, as we're now going to try and look for a move on Valtteri Bottas once more as we head down the back straight. I think we've got some cars going side by side. As to the outside of Valtteri we go. No, he's going to have a look up the inside of Sainz there. There's big contact between the Spaniard and the Finn. Has Bottas picked up some front wing damage? Again, though, just like Jack Aitken, he's going to be slow off the corner exit. This time we're going to wiggle our way to the inside of another car. Just make sure we don't outbrake ourselves into Sainz as Mazepin and Giovinazzi going at it just in front there. Not what Alpine need in the final few races of the year, but everyone is just trying to pick off Nikita Mazepin one by one here as we really straddle the curbs through the middle sector. But yeah, Mazepin really slow, and it's causing a bit of carnage behind. Oh, having a look around the outside of Carlos Sainz there as Bottas is not giving up on this. He's still trying to get his nose back in there as we get a really nice run out of the hairpin that time around. Activate the DRS. Carlos Sainz going to be a bit of a sitting duck as we head down the straightaway here, as is Tsunoda going to be able to make a move work on Nikita Mazepin. We've just got to be careful on the brakes as we get down to the chicane and really try and get ourselves a nice slingshot off corner exits. Is Tsunoda going to get close enough to Nikita Mazepin this time around? Surely he's going to get close enough to the Alpine here, as we're going to have a look to the outside. Tsunoda's going to box me in, but we're still going to try it around the outside of the pair of them there. Sit on the apex, give Nikita Mazepin the room, and look at that for the cheekiest of double overtakes in the final race of F1 2021 there. Loving that one. Just try and find the space, use the pit exit to try and assist me, and that's a double overtake around the outside there. And now we've made 3 places in 1 lap. These are the laps we need this late on in the year, because I'm getting worried. Yeah, Russell has made the move work on Verstappen, so if he finished P3, we would absolutely have to win here in Abu Dhabi. Antonio Giovinazzi has run such a quietly brilliant campaign in the final season of this career mode. He's been nowhere for so long down at Alfa Romeo, but put him in that Alpine, he has been absolutely electric in this final season there. Probably has deserved a couple more podiums or even a race victory, to be honest with you, but yeah, we do dispose of him. Up now into P5 then of the race, and only a second away from our teammate Max Verstappen, but we've got the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc between us. But they're not what I'm worried about today. I'm worried about George Russell up in P2 and Sergio Perez, a long way down the road in the race lead there, and mistakes like that are not going to help me. Don't overdrive the car this early on. Right, let's see if Charles Leclerc then can apply some pressure to Max Verstappen, or are we going to try and pick off the Ferrari here? To the outside we go as we head... Oh, Charles Leclerc! Very, very aggressive there with his defending. And now, can we try and back up the inside? No, that all got a little bit sketchy and confusing a bit too quickly in this Grand Prix. So we'll sit back and we'll try it again next time round there. We've got to race this one a little bit differently psychologically, because any mistake now, there will not be a chance to recover. In the pit lane round here isn't the worst on F1, but does still lose you a lot of time. Right, let's try this again then on Charles Leclerc in this race, as we again get a nice run off the corner there. That Ferrari has just got so much torque though on exit, and you can see now he's going to go to the outside of Verstappen. We're going to go to the inside of our teammate there, and is it another double overtake? Yes, it is. Oh, that could be World Championship defining there. Another brave, audacious move in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix there, and luckily we put a gap between ourselves and the 2 cars behind as well. But Verstappen, he didn't quite get Ricardo Zonta that time, because he does hang on to at least one of the positions. I mean, Ricardo Zonta was a lap down, but still. But now, we've just got the Red Bulls in front of me there as we glance up against the Armco. We've still got to push, because Sergio Perez, with a 13-second lead there. George Russell into the pits in the lap 23. We're going to try and extend this stint a little bit longer, but Max as well in.
Max in the pits.
There's a long way to go still in Abu Dhabi. We wouldn't even be at half distance yet. Lap 24, Sergio Perez into the pit lane as we've got our 3rd retirement of the day. This time round, it's one of the Alpines. Is it Nikita Mazepin? No, he's not retiring. He was just incredibly slow. So my best guess is then that, yeah, it must have been Nikita Mazepin. But Perez in.
Is available on the MFD.
He's going on to mediums now, as what are the team recommending for us? They want us to one-stop mediums to the end here. That's definitely not the way I want to go, because I'll be honest, these medium tyres are not that great, as you can just see through the first sector. A little bit all over the road there. But yeah, Perez still a long way out in front in this race. We just need Russell to either drop back some places, or of course we do the hard work myself and try and close up the 13-second gap. Oh, we got yellow flags out. Aston Martin going slowly. No, again, seems like they're getting themselves sorted there, so maybe just a bit of a mistake from one of the Astons. But yeah, still a bit worried as we get to the halfway stage here in Yas Marina. I'm still just scared something could go wrong, because it can happen at any moment on F1 2021. I'm trying not to overdrive the car or anything like that, but you just never know. It's so scary, especially with how many we've had in recent races. You know, it's a good element to the game, but when you've got max out durability, 3 engine failures in 4 Grand Prix doesn't quite feel very realistic. Well, starting that 30 then, team want us to box within the next couple of laps, and to be honest, these mediums aren't feeling bad, but they're not feeling brilliant either there, and Sergio Perez, that gap is coming down now a bit more significantly every lap. Far more interestingly, George Russell's clearly on a push to get closer to his teammate, because that gap's coming down even more at the moment. So yeah, the top 3 slowly bunching up, but we're probably going to box maybe the end of this one, maybe the end of next lap, back onto the softs. We dealt the pain of the medium tyre stint, and we just got to keep on focusing. Into the pits we must go. E-I-E-I-E-I-O, end of lap 30. Going to box back onto a fresh set of the soft compound tyres that should see us stop back lap 43. Make sure we get the car slowed down into the pit lane here. But I mean, yeah, we're going to be well versed with the Abu Dhabi pit lane by the end of this Grand Prix there, as I think we should come out around Verstappen. I'm hoping we come out ahead of our teammate in this Grand Prix. As all slow stop by the team. 2.9 is very slow indeed, actually, on F1 2021.
Stop once now, 1 stop left.
Don't lock up in the pit lane and go straight on, a bit like that Ford GT did years and years ago. Yeah, as we re-emerge out of the pits then, we've now got a really big race on our hands, to be honest, because Perez still 14 seconds up the road, but we now are going to be much, much quicker than these Red Bulls. It's these laps now that could be championship defining, because before Checo pits again, we've got to try and close up this gap. Purple Sector 2, Purple Sector 3. Of course, the other thing we have to consider here is we might still need the fastest lap bonus point in this final race of the year, because of course if George Russell, let's say in a hypothetical world, Sergio Perez retired from the Grand Prix, if George finished second with fastest lap, that would be it. George Russell would take the crown by 1 point come the end of this year. So we go purple through Sector 1. We need to set a benchmark that no one can match here. We're going to absolutely use every bit of DRS we possibly can on this lap and just try to set a good benchmark. I mean, it's good for that, and of course the fact we're trying to take time out of both Red Bulls at the moment. We are doing so hand over fist, as the track getting a little bit more overcast at the moment. Let's see what the team is saying about the rain.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
So with 23.5 laps to go, the team still can't see any wet approaching on the radar. Pre-weekend, it reckons there was an 80% chance of rain by the end of this one. So I am not convinced still of the final corner. Then what is this lap going to be? It's going to be a 34.4. Thank you very much.
The fastest lap of the race so far.
And that could be a lap that wins me a world championship tonight. But still, we have to keep on pushing. Well, 20 laps to go then here from Abu Dhabi. George Russell and I have spent all day circulating around each other, but we haven't actually battled on track yet, as somehow we go even faster. I was just about to say, the tyres just not quite providing the same grip they were just a few laps ago, but apparently I'm better off eating my own words here, as can we try and get a nice simple move done on George when we get to the back straightaway. I mean, Perez is still 7 seconds up the road, but yeah, at the moment, like I said, George Russell and I, we haven't actually, I mean, we've battled a few times this year, but not as many as I think either of us would have wanted. Our fellow Brit, though, our big rival this season, he's been absolutely fantastic in his first year at Red Bull, similar fashion to how he's been at his first year with Mercedes in real life there. George Russell's going to go defensive down the back straight there, just about hold it on the brakes, but can we do the old up and under on the exit of the corner? There's so much extra grip still on the exit of the corner. It is going to be a drag race, though, as we head down the old pit straight. And how is that a 3-second penalty code is late on in the final race of the year? Could that come back to haunt me? I didn't even think we'd ran over the white line. I thought we were on it down that pit lane. I mean, we certainly didn't gain an advantage from it. But, I mean, FIA throwing down the rule book, and we've been given a 3-second time penalty in the final race of the year here from Abu Dhabi. We've got to keep pushing anyway, but that's just made our day a whole lot more difficult. 38 then of 55, 18 to go here from Abu Dhabi, and I guess the real question at the moment is when are those Red Bulls going to pit, and is it going to be onto soft or is it going to be onto medium tyres here? We've just actually driven over a Haas car, so we head out of the pit lane just to make sure who's that Luca Giotto doesn't get in our way. But yeah, I mean, we're still taking good time out of Perez. Gap now under 4. But Red Bull's entire championship hopes now rest on Sergio. Unless, of course, George Russell can... Well, I mean, what Red Bull would do if they were in... If I was Christian Horner, what I'd do, make George pit onto a set of soft compound tyres, obviously, when you would normally. Get him to try and set fastest lap. And then swap them round is what I'd have to do later on in the year.
A new strategy option.
What the team's saying to us, though, they want us to pit lap 44. I definitely wasn't going to the end on this set of tyres. But yeah, lap 43, lap 44, that's about right. But yeah, George Russell needs fastest lap if he still wants this World Championship. But then again, of course, Sergio Perez, when he makes the swap back onto softs, because effectively now, we're probably both going to pit onto a set of soft tyres at about the same time. We've still got to try and gain 6 seconds.
Over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
That I had also completely forgotten about. Where and how could the rain affect things late on in this final race of the year? The team has spent all night saying it's not going to arrive, and now they've finally spotted it. Things are not done yet in Yas Marina. Oh, there we go, lap 40, George Russell into the pits. So is that a little bit early then for a set of the soft compound tyres there? Is he going on to another set of mediums to see him through to the checkered flag? That might mean he's accepting his fate of P3 here, and it looks like he is. George Russell on another set of medium tyres, so now it likely is going to be Perez versus I for the win, and Red Bull Christian Horner, I'm sure there's a big bonus on offer tonight if Checo can hold this one off. Oh, and there we go, 1 lap later, Sergio Perez into the box as well. So are both Red Bulls then going on to a set of the medium tyres to see him through to the end of the Grand Prix? Could we still have a big advantage in this race when we box in a couple of laps' time onto a set of softs there? Do they just not believe they can stretch the gap far enough late on in the championship, or do they just not want to take any risks there? Verstappen in as well. I'm sure Sainz and Tsunoda probably aren't going to be far behind, as there goes Tsunoda and Carlos Sainz into the pits. But yeah, Russell and Perez then going on to another set of the medium tyres. So not only does that mean it's highly unlikely Russell can try and sneak away fastest lap in this race unless he pits again, but he can't do that, of course, because Verstappen's far too close. Are Red Bull tripping themselves over late on in the year, or do they know something we don't? What is going to happen still, of course, with the weather? 14.5 laps to go here from Abu Dhabi, and there are still so many questions on the table at the moment. Boxing then at the end of lap 44, 12 to go here from Abu Dhabi, and the gap to Sergio Perez, he is going to come out ahead of me after we've boxed, but the gap isn't going to be that much there, as you just run a little bit wide out of turn 3. And of course, yeah, we should have a big grip advantage if the second stint's anything, the third stint is anything to go like. The fourth stint, we should still have quite a big pace advantage, at least in the early laps here. But I mean, yeah, 40 seconds ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi, 37 seconds ahead of our teammate Max Verstappen. And remember, we started this Grand Prix from right at the back of the field. I mean, we picked off a lot of cars early on. Very happy with the progress we made in the early stages of this GP. But what a fantastic race it's been up to now. Fingers crossed that Latifi doesn't bin it anything like that, because at the moment we are still looking like we've got a pretty good shot there. We'll have to wait and see what the gap's like after we box. But Perez is not going to be far ahead of us, and he's going to have a much slower car to the end. Surely, if we get past him, we can get that 3 seconds. Right, well, hopefully then into the pits for the last time ever in the My Team career mode. Make sure we don't get done for speeding on the way in. It's a shame you can't serve your 3-second time penalty in the pit lane there, as we almost did. Accidentally speed in there, just didn't quite coast off as much as we should have done there. Here comes both Williams, not quite the same success we've had in the Road to Glory. Of course, we'll find out whether we can wrap up the championship there tomorrow. 2.6 second stop, though, not too shabby. It is going to be close between myself and Perez on pit exit there. There goes Sergio Perez. He is still going to be in the lead of the Grand Prix, but as we head back up the hill, the gap, hasn't really changed since when he boxed a few laps ago. 1.4 seconds, 10.5 laps to go here in Abu Dhabi. But of course, not only do we have to make the move, we've also then got to build up a 3-second margin over Sergio Perez. Where, though, of course, the other question is the rain.
Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
That's very helpful, Jeff, but that does mean the rain is getting very, very close. If the team are telling you not when it is, rather what tyres to be on, we're getting close to that crossover, and surely on quicker, softer rubber, that should give us an even bigger advantage if the heavens open. Well, Sergio Perez might have been dubbed a legend halfway through the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but he's going to have to be otherworldly tonight if he wants to try and defend from us for very long in this Grand Prix. We've just got that extra bit of pace at the moment, that extra bit of confidence, and of course everything on the line late on in the campaign here. Is Sergio Perez going to go defensive? Not as much as I thought he would there, but we wriggle our way around the outside. Perez just doesn't have the confidence on the brakes in that Red Bull, and it might have been
good job.
Absolute ecstasy for them in real life, but at the moment, now we've got to try and build up a 3-second margin. Already we've got a second of that. But can we upset and ruin Red Bull's party? They've wrapped up the last 2 Constructors' Championships, but we've still snuck away last year's Drivers' Championship. Luca Giotto, please get out of the way. Can we again repeat that?
On you. 1 second.
Yeah, quite funny the fact, of course, that we've won 2 Drivers' titles, but only 1 Constructors, and tonight we could make it 3-1. There we go, even faster. 1:33 for now, late on in the Grand Prix. And of course, if that rain does arrive, it'll mean that no one can go faster. 1.5 seconds, the gap up to Checo already. 9 laps to go.
The rain is a few laps out yet, but it is coming. Be careful.
Oh, team getting a little bit nervous. This could be the last sort of twist in this story. Please do not screw me, Coders. Oh, there we go. Even faster.
Fastest lap of the race so far.
1:33.0, and that is going to mean the gap now is hovering at 2.9 of the 3 seconds we need. So this is going to be the changeover there as Nicholas Latifi kind of jumps out the way down at the bottom of the hill. I swear to God, if I see you stack it, mate, in these final few laps, I'm going to be very, very upset indeed. But Checo Perez, he was still hanging on there for a good few corners inside the 3-second zone. Now it's just over. And we just got to keep going at the moment, because if the tyres do fall off towards the end, that could still really affect us here. So we need to try and build up this cushion, as not too sure what Ilot's doing. We'll get back to the racing line, though, by the braking zone. But I would just like to get that cushion up a little bit more, just in case. 32.6, we're just lighting it up at the moment. And surely this is just stabbing the knife into George Russell's side, just twisting it further and further with every fastest lap at the moment. 7 to go here from Abu Dhabi. We are still pushing, but we have got to be a bit careful still about that engine. But again, we go another purple through Sector 1. 5 laps to go then. Oh, there was the flash. The rain is here in Abu Dhabi. I was just about to say we can't even enjoy it at the moment because we don't know whether the engine could randomly go up. But rain in the desert here in Abu Dhabi in the final 5 laps of the UAE Grand Prix. Can we hang on? How bad is the rain going to get? I mean, we could see, you know, absolutely torrential conditions very quickly. We could see a call for intermediates coming towards the final lap.
The track is getting wetter. Recommend you stay out for now, though. We'll be much slower if we move on to inters this early.
Could we see a transfer over to intermediate tyres in the dying stages here in Yas Marina? We don't know just yet, but things are still far from over. It's already, I mean, it's raining hard immediately. Just that little lack of grip immediately. You'd notice it. You feel on edge. You feel tentative. We've got 5 seconds in the pocket to Perez behind. But, I mean, if it comes down to a late race call, I've absolutely got no idea what we've got to do. I mean, you could not write a script like this at the moment. The DRS has already been disabled So it's one lap from the rain to the intermediate conditions. We have to box now. We cannot afford not to box at the moment, as into the pits we must go. Yeah, I mean, that is just insane how quickly the track has got wet here. I'm sure it's not the best circuit for drainage, but into the pit lane we come then. Are Perez and Russell going to do the same thing there? Sergio Perez into the pit lane. It looks like everyone is peeling into the box there. I don't think anyone... It's not worth it. You're going to lose so much time immediately here, but we have to keep it honest in the dying stages of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here, and I cannot believe it. Intermediate conditions. I have never seen this before in Abu Dhabi in an F1 career mode, but how much more drama can we take on F1 2021? We've got 4 laps to hang on a set of intermediate tyres there. Everyone is boxing late on in the day. I mean, it's going to cost cars behind even more, just due to the nature of the Constantina in effect. But Perez now, he's on mediums. What are they doing? Perez is out on another set of mediums here, so have I been the one that's messed this up, or have the AI gone the wrong way with the strategy? I mean, we're pulling out massive time over Perez there. They're all boxing onto mediums. What's going on? Late on in the day? I have no idea at the moment, but I think Perez and Red Bull have absolutely thrown it away, as well as everyone else. We're the only car that's made the right choice here. I've never seen this in F1 2021 or any other game for that matter. They're going to lose bags of time immediately. But this Christian Lundgaard just sat in the middle of the road there on a set of medium tyres. Everyone's going to have to box again then. But I've never had this on F1 2021. I've never seen the AI all dive in at the same time, but all make the wrong strategy choice there. Lundgaard's going to box again. I mean, is it something ridiculous like they can't pit for intermediates in Abu Dhabi? I don't know. But what a dynamic and shocking twist this has taken late on in the year. It's created a lot of drama, but for me, it's pretty much perfect, as I think everyone else is going to have to box back in there. I mean, they've lost a good 15 seconds over one lap just by hanging out on the wrong compounded tyres there. Even if they just tried to stay out to the end, I don't know. But Russell, he's staying out another one. George Russell going out for yet another lap in this Grand Prix as the track gets wetter and wetter. Perez has come to his senses. He's jumped onto a set of intermediate tyres, but this is just insanity. As look at this, we're now going to be lapping well up towards the points here as Jack Aitken re-emerges out onto the track on a set of intermediate tyres there. Surely George Russell is going to box at the end of this one, but he's going to drop not only back behind his teammate, but also maybe even further down the field. Let's not forget, I know I've mentioned it before in this race, we started this from the back, and as we enter the final lap here in Abu Dhabi, we might have done a last to first and win this race by almost 50 seconds. This is just bonkers. As there we go, George into the pits as we are about to start the last lap here in Abu Dhabi, but the gap to Sergio Perez still going up at the moment. And I mean, George, he might actually get jumped by Verstappen at this stage. Could our Dutch teammate join us on the podium in the final race of the campaign there? It has really not been a season to write home about for Max Verstappen, but it'd be nice if he got another trophy to add to the collection come the end of the season. He never quite managed to take that title with Red Bull once we burst onto the scene, but still, I mean, he's had a couple of crowns in F1 2021 nonetheless there. But about to start the last lap of the Yas Marina, or Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, sorry, even I should say. Carlos Sainz now out of the Grand Prix. No idea what the Spaniard has done as we start the last lap there. He's looped it round by himself, and luckily for us there's no safety car for that one, otherwise we could have got some PTSD late on in the race there. But one lap to go here from Abu Dhabi, and what a weird end to the race this has been. I mean, we could still end up with an engine failure. Let's not try and jinx ourselves by saying that one. But what a just shocking end. I mean, it has absolutely hammered it down here in Abu Dhabi. I've never seen anything like it on F1 2021. But I mean, this game has given us so many crazy memories. Like I've said, you know, we've gone from 15 to nearly 60,000 subscribers during this one game. And I cannot thank you guys enough for the insane support. And of course, the My Team series has been a huge, huge part of that. But so many iconic battles. 3 World Championships, as long as we don't do anything stupid on this final lap. You know, we're going to join a pretty exclusive club. Ayrton Senna, Niki Lauda, Jim Clark, and just to name a few there, all 3-time Formula 1 World... Sorry, Jackie Stewart even, I should say. All 3-time Formula 1 World titles. I'm sure Jim Clark could have certainly won a third had he not had that incident at the Hockenheim ring. But 4 absolute legends even, I should say, as we round the final few corners here in Abu Dhabi. Though this season has been absolutely insane, from getting about 9 different winners in the first 12 Grand Prix. The second half of the year has been us versus George Russell. But as we round the final few corners in Abu Dhabi, we were 7 points back heading into the final race after 3 engine failures in the last 4 Grand Prix. Absolute insanity. A 100% race here at Abu Dhabi. I cannot wait for the new track. This old layout is absolute dog poo. But through the final corner, we're going to become a 3-time Formula 1 World Champion on F1 2021. Get in there.
Fantastic drive, and it means your driver's world champion. What a result. Enjoy it.
And with that, another year of Formula One draws to a close, and the new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. They've done it then. Victory in the last race of the season and the championship as well. What a phenomenal end to a terrific Formula One season. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. Mr. Monaco takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. There was a lot going on all down the field, but they were the only one who I really felt maximised their potential.
And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there we are then, guys, the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and what a way to wrap up the season and, of course, the championship. Last to first, and despite a penalty, we still won this race by 47 seconds there. A crazy end. Like I said, I've never seen anything like it on F1 2021. But Sergio Perez, a valiant effort by him on the 5-stop strategy to only come through for P2 there. George Russell in P3 there, our big title rival, a minute and 8 seconds behind at the checkered flag there. Verstappen just missed out on a podium for his final race in F1 2021 ahead of Tsunoda, and Mazepin on a 3-stop, somehow making it work to finish P6 when all is said and done there. Lance Stroll, Valtteri Bottas, Antonio Giovinazzi and Charles Leclerc round out the top 10 there, and yeah, only 10 cars finishing on the lead lap there. You can see the rest of your finishers. Sainz stacking it right at the end. Schwartzman and Lando Norris both retiring early with some issues as well there, and that means championship-wise, 4 points the difference come the end of the year there. But I mean, had we not had those 3 mechanical failures, we could have easily, I mean, all 3 of them, we were certainly within race wins contention. But 4 points, it's still the World Championship come the end of the year there. George Russell P2, it's been a fantastic year by him and Red Bull, but they just didn't quite have enough right at the very end there. Perez, a very decent P3, all season long, got the job done. And then Lando Norris there, fantastic effort by him for P4 come season's end. Of course, he's retiring at the end of the campaign there. Max Verstappen, 200 points exactly to finish P5 ahead of Lance Stroll, Charles Leclerc, Tsunoda and Carlos Sainz there. And yeah, Antonio Giovinazzi getting over the 100-point mark in an Alpine there. A fantastic job done by him. Zhou Guanyu, 67 points ahead of both McLarens there. Esteban Ocon and then Nikita Mazepin with that result jumps Jack Aitken and Mick Schumacher. Luca Giotto, of course, also got a point for Haas ahead of Latifi, Lundgaard, Eilert and Schwartzman, who all failed to score. Constructors-wise, though, Red Bull, yeah, 84 points in the end. We're just never quite going to have enough with Max Verstappen struggling all season long there. We come through for P2, a long, long way ahead of Mercedes there. AlphaTauri, despite Lando's retirement, hang on to beat Ferrari at the end of the campaign there. And McLaren, only 4 points ahead of Alpine when all is said and done. Aston Martin in a bit of no man's land in 8th, ahead of Alfa Romeo, Haas and Williams. They're down in last place for the first time in F1 2021. But yeah, I cannot believe it. The My Team career mode done and dusted here from this game. Like I keep saying, a massive thank you to all of you guys for the insane support throughout the entirety of F1 2021. You know, this year has been absolutely mind-blowing, and you know what? Let's say it. 100k before 2023. That's the goal when we jump into F1 2022. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you return tomorrow as well for the final race of the Williams Road to Glory. And then on Monday, the circus begins again. We'll be back very, very soon with more Formula 1 content.
None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.